We have argued this issue relating to admissibility thoroughly on the previous occasion. That horse has bolted already. The only issue that the court must decide on is the relevance of those particular videos, not their authenticity. It has been stated in many case laws, which I've mentioned before. It has been confirmed by the Supreme Court of Appeal. Your Worship, I only want to deal with the evidence now of Colonel Rodney Stephen Swartboy, who's the investigating officer, and how he explained what unfolded during his investigation. The only issue that is really of importance from his evidence is the chain relating to the firearm that was linked, how he found the firearm at Brighton Beach from Captain Creer and brought it to the ballistic section here in Kabeja for ballistic tests to be conducted. Much has been made of the fact that he didn't disclose that the close protectors were on the scene, and Your Worship, it's not our job. Our job is to prove our case. The information was disclosed to the defense. They must do their work. It wasn't hidden from them. Everything that was put to Colonel in this regard, Colonel Swartboy, it's not our work to do that. Our work is to disclose all the information, those that benefit the accused and those that are against them. Your Worship, so far as his evidence is concerned, it was also said as to the close protectors that didn't see, they were on the stage and so on. It is clear from this, Your Worship, if one take into consideration accused number one's own version that he fired shots on the night in question. During that incident, it's clear somebody's lying here as to whether either the close protectors were there and they didn't see, or they were not there. Because in his own version contradicts exactly that point, that this incident happened as described in the video footage. They were either not present, or they didn't observe anything, or they were deliberately untruthful. It leads to the inescapable conclusion that they were untruthful as to what transpired on the night if they were on that stage. Because accused number one confirms this incident. It did happen. He just says it's a toy firearm. We're saying it's a real firearm. It also begs the question, Your Worship, that it was raised that we didn't have any eyewitnesses and so on. If the members of the South African Police Service that were close protectors on that evening did not want to or were not prepared to come and testify, how can we expect an ordinary member of the public that were there to come here and say that is exactly what we have seen? And also take into consideration most of the people that were there were EFF supporters. So it's not strange that no witness came forward to come and testify, as been put like by my counsel for accused number two, that this case is highly political. What is important about this, it is evident from the evidence from Colonel Nkwali, from Warrant Officer Becker, Colonel Gwadleka, Colonel Mzuku, Warrant Officer Steenkamp, Captain Botha, Captain Governor and Colonel Swartboy, all of them being experienced members of the South African Police Services, that users and utilize firearms, a tool of their trade, are talking about this muzzle flash they observed on the video footage. They were not prepared to commit that this was indeed a real firearm, but this was an issue that kept on being raised about the muzzle flash, which they observed during. The only reason why they couldn't commit to that because none of them are ballistic experts, but Mr. Guadeka already confirmed that this firearm was indeed there and that firearm was used during this incident. It's linked to that cartridge. The submissions made by accused number 1 and 2 during the cross-examination of Mr. Singh, Mr. Quata, relating to the issues of the footages, like I've said, Your Worship can safely accept that footage is authentic. There wasn't any tampering. To do anything else would be a speculation of Bishop, insofar as the witness is concerned, that we don't have any witness, I think we brought to Your Worship the best witness ever. It's a silent witness in the form of those video footages. It's better than an actual eyewitness's evidence, which enable the court to see what exactly transpired during the incident, as the contents thereof is unbiased, it's unemotional, it does not exaggerate, nor does it take any sides, and it doesn't have the preconceived perceptions, does not have any of the fallible qualities that one can attribute to human beings. It doesn't fabricate a version. It just shows what it has recorded during the incident on a press of a button. What better witness would Your Worship would want in a form than that witness? It was said that the state didn't even prove its case because there was no witness, there was no this and that. Beyond reasonable doubt was described by Denning J. in a matter of Miller versus Minister of Pensions 1942, or all ER at page 372 as follows: the degree is well settled. It need not reach certainty, but it must carry a high degree of probability. Proof beyond reasonable doubt does not mean beyond reasonable doubt or beyond the shadow of a doubt. The law would fail to protect the community if it admitted fanciful possibilities to deflect justice. If the evidence is so strong against a man as to leave only a remote possibility in his favor, in which can be dismissed with a sentence, of course, it is possible, but not probable. The case is proved beyond reasonable doubt, but nothing short of that will surface. 1 + 1 = 2, plus another 1 = 3. Your Worship's got the video footage, Your Worship's got the spent cartridge, Your Worship's got the actual firearm. You've observed it. It's my submission that that is proof beyond reasonable doubt. Bishop, I submit the dictum that I've just stated is applicable and relevant to this case. It's highly improbable that the accused one fired several shots with a toy firearm or a movie gun. If the court considers that no prior discussions took place with this Colonel Mkwali. If one look at the footage, you don't need to have been an expert to see it looks similar to the actual firearm that was produced here in court. If you look at length and size. It was already confirmed by Mr. Guadaleka that indeed a real firearm fired that spent cartridge on the night in question. Also of importance is if one look at the actions on the video of accused number one, he doesn't with this toy firearm fire into the crowd or fire to his gentleman that was on the stage with him. No, he takes a secluded place, moves to the right side of the stage, the far right, and he fires the shots there, where there were either no supporters or very minimal supporters. If this was a toy firearm, you could have just moved it around, fired to everybody else because he was showing it off. Why didn't he do that? That's an issue the court must also consider if one look at the actions of accused number one on the night in question, or it was clear that that was a firearm if one look at his actions. This is why I have stated, it has already been stated by counsel that he spoke about R versus Blom. The only reasonable inference the court can go is that indeed that it was a real firearm, because this is the issue. Insofar as accused number two is concerned, one can clearly see from the video footage there's a discussion between him and accused number one. Accused number one moves towards him, smiling, both of them. Moves towards him, give what looks to appear that he hand over the firearm. The court can draw an inference. After that, accused number two is seen moved away. Accused number one is no longer in possession of the firearm. What other reasonable inference can be drawn from that? If accused number two was not the bodyguard of accused number one on that evening in question, what other purpose would he have been here in East London with accused number one? The court is not obliged to indulge in a conjecture and to find the answer for every possible inference if one look at this incident. You're not required to seek speculative explanation for conduct which on itself, on the face of it, is incriminating. It's submitted, Your Worship, that the evidence that was presented before court is strong, and that the application for a discharge 17 can safely be dismissed in respect of both accused. That's our submission.